day behind you, good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
Well, hey there, and welcome to the tavern. I'm Travis, and my vices tonight are a little bit too much bourbon and not enough weed. By weed, I'm actually smoking tobacco. I got a maple Cavendish that Andrea likes to call breakfast. We should just name it second breakfast for your sake.
It smells like pancakes.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's a nice room note to it. What do you got, Ed?
I have Hershey Kisses
Oh.
and Jack Daniels.
Oh! Regular or like Black Label?
Single barrel.
Is that
I don't
regular?
drink the regular.
Oh, good. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the regular nasty.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Andrea?
Oh.
Red wine?
Huh?
Red wine?
No, but it is in a wine glass. It's my tea, because why save the fancy things for a fancy time every day?
Now,
So tea in a wine glass.
you've been
So,
drinking
Ed,
wine all week. Why not tonight?
because I'm drinking tea, but hold on,
Okay.
hold that
He's
thought.
afraid to
Ed,
get out of hand. Yeah.
that bottle, when it's empty, save it for me.
Oh,
Can I have it?
Yeah, I got two here. So
It's a nice bottle.
You can have it.
But I'm going to tell you should drink heavier because we're going to see you in a week or two.
So, I have been drinking wine, but there was a little mishap. So here's my story of what happened this week. What happened was, I got some bottles of wine because I really like it. So it was a strawberry rosé, I think. I don't know what it was. Very good. And I'm like, oh, come home from work, make some dinner, do whatever, have some wine. Well, I also needed to make laundry soap because I make our laundry soap. I was going to make liquid laundry detergent, but I was drinking wine. Next day, I'm like, okay, ready to do laundry. Nope. Don't wine and soap because it was not liquid. I didn't let it do the gel phase well enough. So now it looks like a pickle jar of spooge on our kitchen cabinet.
But does it still work?
Oh, yeah, I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
But
I carried that jar around the whole fucking neighborhood, so proud, like, look what I filled up this morning.
What neighborhood?
Okay, fine. I was talking to the cows in the field. They were very excited. Heifers be crazy.
Some bull probably looked over and just said, amateur.
pretty much.
10 seconds later, I walked away, butt hurt and my cheeks swollen out to ear.
Well, speaking of wine, went to my local winery last Friday, and I got a public service announcement because white people, you can't take your black friends everywhere you go. Okay? I'm going to put that out there because we're sitting at the winery, and a group of my friends at the winery. Now, remind you, I am the fly in the jar of buttermilk at the winery. The only one. Okay? But they decide they want to go to one of those animal lodges. I won't say which one, but you know, eagles, moose,
Oh,
whatever
okay.
the hell the other ones are, elks, grand poobahs, whatever.
Yeah, the water buffaloes
They
Fred
decided-
Flintstone went to.
There you go,
Yeah.
the water buffaloes. They wanted to go to one of those animal lodges. And because they're members at one here in town, I live in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Okay. And come on, Ed, you gotta go. They have a live band. They have dancing. Okay. I was like, okay, live band, dancing, I could get behind that. So I go. Live band. No R&B, no soul, no funk. Okay, I gotta have R&B, soul, and funk to warm up, and then I can dance to that other music. But I gotta have my warm up music. No. But we walk into the place, and everybody turns and looks like, damn, they sure changed the color of things in here tonight. So I tell my white friends, I was like, look, y'all gotta warn me when you're bringing me places like this so I can wear my NASCAR hat or my Confederate flag hat or Make America Great Again, something like that, so I can blend in more. And they're all like, oh, we don't even look at you that way. We don't even notice that, man. It's like, you're trying to get me fucking killed, okay? Look out for your black friend before you take him places with you.
Yeah. They might not
I
see
had
you
a good
by
time.
color, but the other 40, 50 people,
Right.
they might. uh,
Oh my.
so let's
Damn
do an
good.
opening toast, okay? Here's to not being colorblind and seeing the color of somebody's skin so you don't get that fucker killed.
Yeah.
Here, here.
Or so you know you're sleeping with a white woman. Whichever one works better in your world.
That would have got me killed.
You're like, thank God I don't bring my wife out of the house. Oh
Oh,
my.
she was there. She was just laughing all damn night long. You know. So yeah. And two of the guys that went with us are hell, they don't have a problem with it. Two of the guys that went with us are gay. So
Okay.
that was the running joke all night. Two gay guys and a black guy going to the
Right.
lodge in Front Royal, Virginia.
The Wet Beaver Lodge.
We even took a picture because they posted that shit on Facebook exactly the way I just said it.
They're
Oh
like,
my god, I still had Facebook now.
hey y'all, guess who came and visited us here? We got ourselves a black friend. We're all his friend now. He says he even owns a NASCAR hat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The topic for tonight is going to be future tech now. So, what?
He's excited.
I
Right.
have notes.
Yeah, I wanted to talk.
So we touched on this a little bit before.
Yeah.
But I know growing up watching the sci-fi things and all the technology of the future of the 2000s, which seemed
Yeah.
like forever from the
Way back
80s.
in the 1900s. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my things is I'm like, okay, Star Trek, because I remember laying on my grandma's shag carpet floor with the big TV that, the big thing on the floor, the big huge cabinet TV or whatever, watching Star Trek. And they would walk up to the door and the door would just open.
How about that shit?
Like, how about that?
How about that?
We have that now.
We have that now. Yep.
We have that now.
Had that since
Well,
the
we
70s.
used to have that then, but you had to step on a little pressure pad. But now it's just little sensors, and yeah, we got that now.
It was not the same.
Yeah, yeah. What else?
Well, I have a whole list, but what about you guys? We can do a roundtable thing.
Okay, we can do this because my thought, just like Andrea, was Star Trek because everybody, the communicator. Okay, Captain Kirk flipping over that communicator, and he was talking to people on other planets and shit. It was fucking great. And now look at us. Now, cell phone. Yeah, but there was a thing, Nextel flip phone. That thing was badass way back in the day, baby. Just flip that open, push a little button, say, "Hey Travis, what you doing?" And Travis would go, "I'm taking a shit. Don't call me right now." But yeah, that was really badass.
See, I don't need one of those damn things to talk to people from other planets. I just go to work. I swear half of them are not local in any way. See, I'm upset. I feel like we should be a lot further on technology with the amount of time I've seen, So we got a phone that doesn't need wires. We've had
Yeah.
electric cars since 1880. They removed them because there wasn't as much money in them. You know, we still have all these other problems.
There's a lot of fucking money in them now. That's for goddamn sure.
That's another thing. Why am I buying a good computer system cheaper than a new phone? The hell is that?
Yeah.
And
Why is a phone
Mhm.
as much as rent or more than rent? Because rent's like
Well,
$2,000-$3,000 now.
I don't want to get into this too much because the next show will really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys, there's a hint for the next one. Foreshadowing.
Okay. So my next thing on my list that it boggled my mind, Jetsons. So I remember the episode where Jane, she woke up and she looked like shit. Okay. But she was getting a phone call.
Know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, she was getting a phone call. She's like, let me put my face on. Poop. And it's all done up and pretty and answers her video phone. We have FaceTime with filters.
With filters.
I immediately think of the fact that George knocked up Jane when she was 16 years old.
He was
And-
like 25.
Oh, no, he was like 32 or I don't know. I'd have to go do the math again. But yeah, he's like significantly older than her and like 16 years older or something. So yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Jetsons. That and the car that folds into a briefcase. Why don't we have that yet?
Why don't we have that yet?
Right. That would be cool. So Rosie, their housekeeper, robots doing housework. We kind of have that now. We have Roombas.
Yeah.
Cats ride on them.
Yeah.
You think Rosie doubled as a sex doll for George? Or Jane?
Absolutely.
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 The whole family probably.
Especially Astro, that horny little bastard.
Well, technology. So the sex toys have come a long way in over the years. Talk about technology.
Haven't they?
Pornography and sex is often the leading changer. That's not the good words. Dem's not the good words'em. Yeah, that often is the vanguard of advancing in technology, especially in entertainment. When we're looking at, cable or internet or whatever, porn leads the way. Porn is the future, people.
Let's hope.
Well, so,
Seriously. Because if we're all fucking, we ain't got time for fighting.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It'd also be nice if we can get over ourselves and not be terrified that every person has genitals.
Yeah.
So, some people have multiple. Theirs,
I have
and
extras.
theirs,
It's in
and
my
theirs.
nightstand.
That's right.
You have extras.
That's where Rosie
Hey.
left it after she cleaned the house the other day.
So we have drones so there's a lot of sci-fi movies where they had the drones and the things that come and Terminator type shit. We have that now. Not all good. Some of it's used for porn.
Wait, we have Terminators?
Drones.
Drone.
I don't know what they do.
We all, speaking of the future, we all, Ed, Andrea, and myself, we all have Starlink, Skynet, whatever it's called. And
Yeah, we all got.
there we go. Ed's back.
Yeah, I was just typing. Damn it, fucking froze again.
Right. So this is, of course, Elon Musk's little thing with all his little mini 3-foot wide satellites networking the Earth, blanketing it. And yeah, we still have basic problems.
It's raining, so it's kind of bad tonight.
We've had it be perfectly sunny, which, by the way, I saw something you could buy on Amazon. It's a gel cover for your Starlink
Oh, okay.
dish. So basically, because it has a heating mode, Ed, right?
Yeah.
So if it snows, it will melt the snow on it and slough it off. They now
That's
have
cool.
gel covers to protect it from the elements. I'm like, didn't he make these things to be in the elements?
Mm-hmm.
The hell do I need? Wouldn't a gel cover just dull my reception?
I would think so.
Wouldn't that melt or degrade over time and mess it up?
Probably.
I'm not an engineer, so I have no idea.
Just like if Jane used that face mask thing too much to put on her makeup, eventually her face looks like that woman from Star Trek who got all old and stuff. You know the one. Or was it Twilight Zone? It's like the same era.
Yeah,
I get them
Twilight.
mixed up sometimes.
It was one of the nurses in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's right.
Got real old. Yeah.
I know she had a
But
really
she didn't
bad
use it
wig.
to put her makeup on. It was her face. It was her. She put her face on. I think that cartoon was made in the 60s. I thought it was made in the 80s when I watched it, but I was wrong. Let's talk about cars. Not the electric cars, but the ones that run on garbage, like old oil.
Like Back to the Future.
Yeah, like Back to the Future. I'm like, that would be very sustainable. That'd be awesome.
But
Why don't we have that? Why does it have to be battery powered?
Oh,
There's a lot of garbage out here.
Oh, we're good at making that.
Yeah, it would save on landfills and stuff. People they don't have room to compost. Put it in your car.
A lot of people in the country do put it in their car and then they take it to the dump.
A lot of people out here, they compost. They do that stuff. Some people have modified their diesel engine so it runs on oil.
But every time we take a step forward, it's all bright, shiny, and new. We're all awesome. And then the money creeps in. Let me use internet streaming. As YouTube was being invented, 2004, I believe it came out, I was like, you know what they need to do? The big film companies need to come up with their own website where you pay them $5 or $10 a month and you get to watch all their content. Like Paramount, you get all the Star Trek. And it took them 20 years to finally do it, even after Netflix and all these others. And you're like, okay, so now I can watch all these shows, pay everybody $10 each. This is awesome. 50, 60 bucks instead of 200, 220 for cable. And then everybody raised their prices. And the biggest ones, I'm looking at you, Amazon, and you, Apple, half their fucking menu is pay us more money if you want to watch this.
If you want to watch this. Yeah.
And we backslid. But they waited long enough that we were so comfortable with it, we didn't go, what? Cancel that service. We don't need those fuckers.
So,
yeah.
That is great. They're like drug dealers. Here's a sample.
Yeah.
Here's a little discount. And then you can't live without it because you got to have that show. You got to know what happens. You got to have that. And they raise the price and you're like, okay, I'll pay it. Well, I won't.
Yeah.
That's why I got rid of all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount got me on that because, you know, their thing was when they came up and you get our entire library if you pay the monthly fee. So I was like, oh yeah, $6 or whatever the hell it was when it started out. I'll pay that. You don't get their entire library because I thought, hey, I'll go back and watch all the old episodes of NCIS and get caught up. No, if I wanted seasons 1 through 5, I had to pay extra.
Right. Or when HBO came up with HBO Max. Okay, so it's HBO and Cinemax put together, which was always the way since the late 70s, early 80s when they came out. HBO owned Cinemax. They put the more family-friendly on HBO, the more adult content on Cinemax. God damn.
Cinemax.
That was some beautiful teen years with my little 13-inch black and white TV.
And all the squiggly lines. There's a boob.
That was on TV. And you had to have a group of people to be able to watch that because somebody had to be back there fucking with it the whole time. That was on TV. But with Cinemax, we actually had it, so I could just watch it clean and clear. So, you know, you got to wait till like 11 p.m. before anything really naughty comes on. But, woo!
Now there's internet and you see worse stuff there, so.
Well,
technology.
HBO Max became Max, and then they bought the Discovery Channel and the Pope Channel and the New York Public Toilet Channel, and they put it all together. And by the way, when did Discovery Channel become nothing but reality shows?
Reality shows.
What the fuck? I turned it on to learn stuff. Let's get some documentaries. Ancient aliens? Well, okay, fine. Now we got Mike Tyson masturbation hour.
That's a whole hour? Nice.
So, you want to see me? Anyhow, um, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'm not as excited. And by the way, we had some phones 15, 20 years ago. You couldn't
Right.
break those things on accident. Unless it was a freak accident. And on purpose, it was still a challenge.
Now you're getting into the next show.
Yeah, we could back off this. I'm just saying, it's a yeah.
That just means tune into the next one.
Tune in to the next episode, people.
I thought about putting the two episodes together in one, but I felt like we had enough stuff to talk about. Even okay, what other cool
Obviously,
stuff?
Travis is not very excited about this. I am, okay. At 60 years old, I am, and seeing him walk around with communicators on Star Trek, seeing him walk around with pads, and now everybody's got a fucking iPad or Samsung pad or whatever. That was exciting to me. Doors opening up, as Andrea has already said, walking into a room and say, "Hey Google, lights." Shut up, Google.
Now everybody's stuff just came on.
And I think, did I mention the elevator last week on air?
Mention it again, though.
Okay. We have a property we're providing security for right now. You step into the elevator and you literally say, "Elevator, 3rd floor," and boom, takes you away. It's kind of exciting when you think 60 years ago, this was just in a sci-fi movie or a sci-fi episode.
You know what I'm excited about? Dick Tracy's radio watch now existing.
Oh, yeah.
That's from
Yeah.
like the 30s. They
Yeah.
had that. By the way, Mouse
Radio
says,
watch.
I don't have a smart home. I don't like the hackability of all things. You know, with every era of technology and security, we have another level of criminal.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to it on each side. And when somebody went, I don't like these new door locks, I can accidentally get locked out. You know,
I'm not worried about like people hacking in and stealing shit because you want it, whatever. There is whatever. There's an episode of Eureka where he lives, the main character, one of the main characters, he's the sheriff. He lives in a smart home and it turns on him. It's the AI I'm worried about, not the other people. Because what if they lock you in your home?
well, I think what Mouse may be more worried about is not being digitally robbed, but turning on cameras and speakers and being spied on. I'm not worried about it. If somebody want to hack into my system and turn on my camera so they could watch me masturbate to, online porn. Really, have a good time. Yeah, she's on her phone in the bedroom as I'm in here. But also the camera only comes to where it is, so you're not seeing anything. It's higher than 9 inches. You're not catching a glimpse of anything. Except me falling asleep in the chair afterwards.
We have a Google monitor in our bedroom, and because it has the alarm clock on it, and we can check the weather without crawling on it. We're lazy fucks, but we got one, and we can check out the cameras throughout the house on that as well. But the one that's in our bedroom also has a camera in it. Now we leave that camera off because it's in our bedroom. However, when the smoke alarm goes off, all the cameras in the house turn on, even if they're off. So if the smoke alarm goes off, I get the alert on my phone. I can see if something actually is burning in my house.
And every time you have sex, it causes smoke.
Yeah,
I don't always remember to turn that one in the bedroom back off. And it has been on for weeks. So if it's ever been hacked by anybody working at Google, if you put that shit up on the internet, I want my cut, motherfuckers, okay? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you do.
You give him 12 large, he'll give you 12 large, if you know what I mean. Mouse says, I'm worried about the government deciding I'm an interesting enough person to listen in on. I have no concerns about that whatsoever.
Yeah,
They're going to hear me making dumbass jokes just like I do on this show. So, yeah, they'll get to hear me grunting as I work out, either in the workout
I'm
room or the
singing
bath.
to the cat.
Huh?
If you
Sing
have
to
a
the cat
computer,
all the time.
if you have a computer with a camera, or you have one of these in your home, they want to listen in on you. They will.
Mhm. But yeah, I'm not doing anything interesting enough. Even as an author, my web search isn't all that exciting because I'm writing fantasy and sci-fi. So I'm like looking up future technologies.
Future technologies, or when you're researching snipers.
No, that's when I get on the phone with you.
Oh, okay.
Live interaction, not that they can't listen on that, but whatever. The trigger words that set up the automatic spooling magnetic tape. There is so much technology that we could have, and I'm just so disappointed because it's out there. It's available.
Yeah.
Have you heard about graphene?
So
Yes.
I actually saw a thing there. It's in stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a portable heating pad
Mm-hmm.
with graphene. I might want to check that out, but I saw one.
Yeah, how come I don't have a postage stamp size battery in my phone that lasts 3 days between charge and charges in 45 seconds?
Because the companies can't make money off of that.
No, they can make money off it, but the current battery companies are blocking them because they're already making the money. And if this technology comes in,
Mm-hmm.
boom.
Mm-hmm.
Next show. Listen to the next episode.
The thing I'm mostly disappointed in, though, I went down my list, and cell phones, pads, opening doors, locks, lights, you can all tell the computer to do that for you. Voice activated elevators, the Cybertruck from Megaforce. That was really cool when Travis pointed that out several. I never even realized that until you pointed that out several episodes ago. Speeder bikes. They have the hover bikes today, kind of like speeder bikes from Star Wars.
Those are
And
terrifying. They're like, it has a balance thing. I'm like, not for the people that drive on the highway, it don't. They will fuck that shit. And it's not like you're 2 feet off the ground. You are 12 feet off the goddamn
12
ground.
feet off the ground.
Oh, that's too much. Nope.
Yeah.
If it's like this, it's fine.
I fall off.
It'll
It's like
take
falling
you
off
up
the
there,
roof.
And watches, which Travis has already mentioned, that do all kinds of things to include check your heart rate. For
Actually,
Dr. McCoy
that is
and
some
his little-
very cool technology where you just put the ring on and it checks your heart rate, it checks your urine level, it checks your eye
Blood
color.
Yeah.
It checks your
But
colon.
the most disappointing thing,
Sorry.
when the fuck we gonna get transporters?
They're working on it and they've made breakthroughs with information.
So I don't know about that because I did watch Spaceballs.
Andrea, I sent you a video the other day. If you haven't seen it, I will show it to you on my phone. It was a Star Wars convention or a sci-fi convention with a lot of Star Wars, and there was one probably 55-year-old woman dressed as an Imperial officer walking around with a violation pad and handing out Imperial citations to everybody. Here's you for lying, for exaggerating about your accuracy on the range when you applied for the Imperial Academy.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It was great. It was.
Speaking of which, since we're off topic, did you guys finish Andor?
No, haven't even finished season 1. Is season 2 better?
Season 2 is much better.
Should I bother to finish season 1? Or just watch the recap?
Just watch the recap because I don't really think season 1 added to the story all that much.
Like
season 2 has some ups and downs, but once they started rolling, it's much better.
Yeah, season 1 was like how we got into all.
Yeah.
And I didn't care. It was
that Disney?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
I've been watching Daredevil, so
it doesn't seem to be moving as quickly as the original series either.
No.
I mean, could just be me. I'm just. By the way, I want to mention. Do I want to mention this? Nah.
Mention it. Go ahead.
It's self-promotion. That's all.
Go ahead.
Mention it. Go
I've,
ahead, baby.
I've got a Patreon out there that
Yeah.
I'm building on, and Patreon is just a place where you could go, and it's almost like the old blog sites turned money. So you can put things behind a paywall, and I've seen a lot of very successful fantasy authors who started out with like a web story. They'd publish a chapter every week or whatever, and they actually blew up in the industry. And with this one, I found, you can put up there a digital sale like you want to be a character in my book. Here, pay this, etc., so on and so forth. And I've just really been looking into that and leaning on that more, almost as much as my website, to get people so they could get eyes on my work. So when it is published and comes out as a book, it's got more. But this is another crazy thing with the advance in technology, how you can make money never leaving your home. And it's a beautiful thing for the creative folks who are. Etsy is another great example. For all those crafters out there that made shit, they go to these craft fairs and pay $100 or $300 for a table and then get $30 in sale.
I bought something off of Etsy this morning.
Did you? Yeah. And Patreon, where if you're an artist, you can sell your paintings on there. You could sell signed copies of your book if you're a writer. You can, and it's really, it's nice. It's one of those advances that has opened up a whole new way. Of course, getting noticed and letting people know you exist and this stuff exists. That's another story. That's where other people make money off of you. Or you treat getting your name out there like a day job and you go do the hustle. But check out my Patreon. Patreon.com/TravisISivart.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I pimped it.
Yeah, got that out of your system.
What's something we use every day that's not our cell phones? We already discussed those. That's long overdue technology. I'm going to say air fryer.
I was going to say air fryer.
Well, you can also. It's a mini convection oven. Now, we've had convection ovens since the 50s, 60s.
50s, I think, yeah.
And they were super expensive. But now here they are in a small form that's very affordable for everybody out there. And it does a wonderful job without using all the energy a oven does.
Yeah.
George Foreman grills. That's a beautiful invention.
Do they still exist?
Yeah, they do. I
Okay.
still got one in my kitchen.
We have one. He still uses it.
Matter of fact, I went down to a smaller size. When this one wears out, I will go back to the larger size because it's really hard to get a full-size under broil on this one. Yeah, you've got to cook it, and not just, you don't have to turn it over, but you have to turn it around because the back will cook more than the front because of the way the lid is. Yeah.
See, we've gone backwards. We cook our meat over open fire.
Because you got a fireplace.
I'm looking forward to visiting it. I don't expect there to be I just like hanging out at your place. You got a cool place, man. And of course, winery.
Yeah.
Which is the excuse to get together and hang out for a 24-hour.
We don't need an excuse.
No excuse.
And we'll have somebody here to watch the cats. So if we do go a little bit over, we're good.
Cool.
We got this.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we'll definitely burn some meat over open fire on Saturday then.
I saw the picture of your new deck, and I did a double take. I'm like, do they really have that? That wasn't there last time we were over.
No.
Because it was still cold out.
Was done when my... Oh, that's right. You guys were here for my birthday. But yeah. The Brio.
We didn't go outside. It was too cold.
It was too cold, yeah.
Hold on. One technology I don't have. How do you guys feel about having the whole smart house thing? And let me let her in. This is what makes me think of it, because it'd be great if I could pick up my phone and open the bathroom door for her to get into her executive washroom. 1 second.
Our old lady cat. She's very demanding. I don't care for a smart house. I really don't care for a smart TV.
Oh, are you afraid Travis will do to you what I did to Teresa? Travis, you weren't here earlier pre-show. Andrea was here, and I was messing with Teresa. I turned her TV off with my phone.
Okay, Mouse points out they have microchip activated pet doors where the microchips are paired with it and it'll open it. It's on the collar. Yeah, but that's actually a pet door, like to go outside or something. That's not like a house door. And I can't imagine rewiring my whole house to be a smart house. Because A, the electric bill of constantly running things.
Mm.
And I'm sure it only increases the monthly by like $12. Not a huge amount, but enough. Because, when we're canceling a streaming service because they raised their stuff by $5, yeah, smart houses, you can, Ed, you have cameras, and they're hooked to your smoke detectors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still using the battery kind, where we have to change the battery every 8 weeks.
You have to change the battery in the smoke detectors, but
Oh,
they are wireless. They're on the Wi-Fi. So,
oh, okay.
yeah, they're on Wi-Fi, and when they go off, they send the signal that turns all the cameras on.
But you can also unlock your doors with your phone, right?
Yeah, with my phone. Yeah.
So what happens when the power goes out?
What do you mean? What happens when the power
Can you
goes out?
manually unlock the doors?
Oh, yeah.
You can still use a key? Because I've seen these cars where you don't have to put a key
Our
in.
doors are on battery, so if the power goes out, I can still push in the code and unlock the door. Yeah.
That's a lot of batteries to go through.
Actually, they're very efficient. I've only have to change the batteries maybe once a year.
Okay. I know my smoke detectors, I don't change battery but every 6 or 7 years, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on efficient batteries.
I gotta admit, I am a little bit like Mouse. I was concerned, I'm putting cameras in my house. People can look, people can hear what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. I was a little concerned but after a while, I just sort of said, if the government wants to know, they're going to know. Hell, they'll come in and put cameras in my house when I'm not home. So,
there are companies that monitor what you put on social media. And if you put the wrong thing, they can legally force you to delete it and then fire your ass. How long before those same companies can listen to your private conversations because it was in the handbook when you signed up?
It was in the handbook when you signed up, yeah.
Well, they probably already do.
They probably already do.
And like Nintendo Switch 2 has things in its terms of service where you don't actually own that console you bought. And you definitely don't own any of the software. And if they don't like what you're doing, they can lock your gaming unit so you can't get into it.
Well, I'm not getting a Switch, so...
I'm going to go back to a pinball machine.
Yeah, you are. Just a little bit later tonight.
Hey. God, I hope that means he's sending you a game system.
I wouldn't mind having a pinball machine. Those were cool. I miss the arcade.
Those were the days.
Okay, Mouse just clarified. They put the kill switches on the original Switch. And she's pissed. Yeah, I heard that after doing a little more research. Even some of the older game systems like the Switch and I think maybe the PS5 or the... Does Sony have PlayStation still? I don't know. Some of these...
Let's get an Atari. Some Pong.
Yeah, can we get the tabletop Pong? Actually, I was talking about the other day, I'd like to get one of those tabletop, like Pac-Man machines, but they've got like 400 games in them. I'm like, that'd be okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we try to play it. The cat will lay on it. We can't see. How's that going to work?
Plus, the pizza and the wings will be in the way of the game. And
yeah, it's like... Ugh.
And for some reason, we've each got 3 different drinks on the table at the same time. You're like, well, I've got my water, and I've got my drink, and then I've got my coffee. So, yeah.
Don't judge me.
That's not just you. It's... Just get the cat one too, says Mouse. Then we'll have to get
There you go.
mannequins to put in front of the the distraction table. So, any other
Nobody knows.
technology we're using right now that you guys are excited about?
Yeah.
That you're like, this is a definite
Translators.
Yeah.
AI translators even better. There's a lot of potential there.
Translators. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, Ed, I totally forgot about that. But translators, because when we worked at the clinic and some of the clients spoke different languages other than Spanish or things that we understand, the translator
Yep.
helped us communicate, and that was so awesome.
I'm excited about my computer. Because right now, we've got the three of us on camera and mic with a live audience. And then we can wide distribute it. Again, the problem, if nobody knows about it, who's watching it, but it's out there, though. And we're able to share that. And with my writing, I can now write something on my computer, look at it on my phone, put it in the cloud so I could download it anywhere or share it with friends. And that's some pretty cool shit there.
Yeah.
That's even beyond what Star Trek and Jetsons had. I mean, Star Trek had tablets. And that was pretty cool. And I play tabletop role-playing games. Like Star Wars tabletop role-playing game. And in all these games, I'm like, you have something equivalent to a smartphone. If you were in Star Wars, why wouldn't you have something hooked to your ship's database, which is connected to the galactic network, where you can go, hold on, let me look this up. I think you're lying through your teeth. Okay, well, I gotta let Zazzle out of the executive washroom, but we'll get up for another round now, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Talk of the Tavern. I'm gonna do the outro. Here we go with that. Thank you guys for joining us. You let us know your thoughts in the comments on wherever you watch or listen to the podcast. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and all the other places. Thank you for checking out my website at TravisSivart.com to find all those things I was talking about earlier, including the live recording of this podcast, as well as all the books and other things that I do. You guys have a great night. Make sure you climb into that booth next to our corner booth that we hang out in every week and talk a little bit of smack, which is not heroin in this case, because if you're on heroin, you ain't talking much. Facts. Good night.